everybody again, it's Kingfisher here. I hope you're all alright at this time still. So we're talking about this thing. I've been watching these things online in America. They've been teasing us with this thing for a while. So it's just landed in the UK and I literally ordered it and it turned up this morning, which took 3 days to get here, which isn't too bad in the current climate. It's a nice bit of kit. Obviously, all metal, a couple of O-rings, a little O-ring here, a couple of O-rings inside that obviously need lubing up before you install it. But it's all about that. All about that little thing there. Just a little hinge gets people excited, but oh yeah, baby. So what I have noticed is it feels really, really nice, really, really smooth. There is an odd bit of grinding every now and again, but it's neither an out nor something. We'll see how long it lasts, because obviously there's going to be some O-rings in there that need replacing at some point, so we will see. Right, let's get this little thing on the back of the 468. So right then, let's get this onto the back of the 468. This has got 3 washers on it that I've already lubed up with a little bit of oil. You get this on, is pretty straightforward. Open her up, slide her on. She is pretty tight to the bottom of the velocity gauge adjustment. So that goes on there. Obviously, get that in hand tight. And then get your Allen key. Just nip it up, not too tight. And that is what she looks like on. So when it's back into its original position, when you've got the buttstock in its original position, you actually are gaining 1.5 inches from the 468 to where the bottle starts. You're gaining 1.5 inches there, so just be aware of that. Right, let's get the bottle on it. So right then, got the bottle on, got the buttstock on. They didn't have the universal buttstock guide in at the time of me ordering the Drop Down ASA, so that will be on the shopping list because you do need that if you want to run this configuration. I've put my twin mags in because I always run twin mags just to see if there's an issue with the mag release button, because obviously this folds in this way and it's sat on top of the mag release button and it's really tight to the trigger. So with me, if I start with the twin mags with the full mag on this side, the first reload isn't going to be an issue because you're going to be able to quite easily get to the mag release button. The second, when I want to release it again, that's when there's going to be a small problem because it's obviously sat tight, and it's just when you take that mag out and drop it back in, it's just going to follow the mag in and sit tight to the 468. So you're going to have to move it out of the way with your trigger finger once you go to the mag release button. So I'll quickly show you that. So obviously when she's collapsed with the double mag, that's what she's going to look like. She's just a little bit longer than the main body of the 468, so she's slightly proud of the mag well. So it's now to something because you obviously got your handguard there. That won't affect anything really. So obviously with me running the double mag, I can get my finger into the trigger mechanism quite well, and obviously get my finger into the mag release button. The issue is going to be when I change the mag out. So I've changed the mag out, so obviously this will now be a dead mag, and the full mag will be in the mag well. So obviously you've got still a tiny little bit of room there for your trigger finger. It is starting to get a little bit is starting to get a little bit tight, but it's doable. You're just gonna have to get used to there's an obstruction in the way of your finger, so you can't quickly get in there. You know, you're just gonna have to learn a new way of a new way of grasping your 468 and pulling the trigger button quickly if you're doing like a really, you know, snapshot sort of thing. Obviously the issue is getting to the mag well, so you're gonna have to push it out the way like that with your trigger finger to get to your mag well release button. So that's one of the main issues that I've seen so far. The other main issue is you're going to have to run it, if you're running it like this, you're going to have to run it on a slight tilt. So you're going to have to run and gun on an angle where the bottle is obviously laying against the 468. What I mean by that is, because if you run it onto the other angle, she's just going to swing open like that. Every time. She's just going to swing open like that. So it's just something to be prepared for. So when you're running and gunning, I normally do it anyway. I normally just offset it so I'm holding my 468 at this sort of angle anyway. So it's going to be resting against my 468. I did think when it would turn up, it'd have some sort of ball bearing, adjustable locking mechanism in there. So I'd have like maybe 3 sort of little presets that would go into sort of ball bearing under some sort of spring tension would pop in, and it would just rotate over. And then it would be under some form of tension, just so you could either set it at this angle and it would just lock out. And then, you know, you give it just a little tap and it would move on to the next one and on to the next one. So, you know, if you were running 2 mags, it would be set about there. So that's what I was thinking, but it obviously doesn't have that. It's a little bit disappointing it doesn't have that, but I'll get over it. As I say, I run and gun on a slight angle anyway, so it shouldn't run too much. The more that you use it, the more of this I think is probably going to happen. It's probably just going to start doing this quite regularly. Now I do have, when it came, there is a bag full of spare O-rings for it, so they're obviously realising it's going to take some punishment and it's probably going to leak air at some point on this joint. So we'll see how long that lasts when I start using it, when we're allowed back in the field again. So I hope you've enjoyed this review on the folding buttstock for the 468. I hope everybody's still safe and well at this time. And I shall catch you all later.